All right, welcome back. JKB, you now. Let's take us to Ogun State.
Ogun State is an interesting case in this particular election. We've already touched on it briefly about 30 minutes ago.
In passing, yeah.
Yeah. Ogun is divided into three. Of course, the Ogun West, that's the Yewa people, who now got their name officially in the constitution now. They no longer call them Egbado. So that one, they've been fighting for it for about 30 years. Then the Jebu side of Ogun State, then the Abeokuta side. Former Governor Amosu seems to have a lot to in trying to install somebody from Ogun West as governor of something. It's all the same mantra that the former governor Benga Daniel also tried with GNI to make sure. But the battle mainly this time was between two Ikperu sons. The houses are about 3 minutes away from each other. Yeah. So they grew up together. They are roughly of the same age grade. So it's basically the battle of who will win at Ikperu. And the governor was, as he said, roundly defeated in his hometown. What saved the day for APC was basically a broad alliance across the three senatorial districts. Because, like we said earlier, Amosu had the candidates, Otegbeye, and he was driving the force basically from Ogun Central, where it's very strong, and parts of Ogun West. In fact, that some people won at all. About 2 people won in Ogun West that nobody thought they would win, because they thought the entire area is going to go to ADC. But APC managed to pick up 1 or 2 seats, House of Assembly seats in Ogun West, which was funny, because until Friday, everybody thought that was a no-go area.
I personally thought an Adebuto was going to cause upsets and so on.
And that's why I said the
that's what you meant by,
basically decided this election.
Okay.
That's why it's so tiny in the victory. Just 13,000. Because anything else, the team will have gone to run off.
Jide, I hear we might have to go to Enugu because our man there, Mia Akiri, has an update for us. But before we do that, take us to Kaduna.
Kaduna, during the presidential election, the PDP routed the APC. They took all the Senate seats. They won the presidential election by a very huge margin, and they also dealt with them in terms of the House of Reps count.
All right,
but
sorry,
for those who thought that we could...
Sorry, Mia is ready for us. Enugu is ready. So let's turn things over to Mia Akiri, our man in Enugu. Mia, good evening to you. Good evening. Are you there?
Good evening to you, Citizen Jones.
Okay, what can you tell us?
Well, Citizen Jones, it's not the best of time for residents in Enugu. You recall that over the weekend, at least 28 states, took part in the gubernatorial election, and in the southeastern parts of the country, as we speak, we have Abia and Enugu states who have collation suspended by the Independent National Electoral Commission. And I must say that since on Sunday, in the coal city precisely, where I have been to monitor development in almost the local governments here, it's been protest from one end to the other. I am right now close to the State Collating Center, and we have different political parties at this point in time protesting, and what they are saying is that they want their mandate. So it's different from what one political party is saying, declare the result. Others are indeed saying that they are comfortable with the process that INEC is coming up with. But by and large, Citizen Jones, it is been a moment of protest that has rocked the coal city ever since the residents took to the polls.
Yeah, so what next? More like asking, where do we go from here?
Well, the people behind you, what are they saying? What do they want?
Where do we go from here, Citizen Jones? It's a bit tough at this point in time, because when we take a look at what is on ground, it's different demands, from persons involved in the gubernatorial election, because what is left at this point in time in the state is the announcement of results for them to indeed know who is the governor-elect, since the incumbent governor is term limited after serving 2 terms. And at this point in time, the residents are certain that a new man will take charge of the state affairs in the coal city. But they are not indeed too happy with the fact that at this stage there are a lot of crises. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, they need to review 2 local governments from the 17 local governments. One of them is in Kana East, and also Nsukka. And we need to indeed wait the decision from INEC, who are the umpire, before we can indeed know what next can be done. But there has been some form of unrest, amongst residents at this point in time, especially from party faithfuls and also some of them the youth in this part. But then I don't want to indeed say that I have my fears personally, because from last night till about 12 a.m. I was around the state collating center, and I saw how youth came out en masse in different centers to indeed protest. And if you take a look at some other states, this is how the protest took over the negative, had negative impact in the state. So my worry is, I hope that this protest will not have any negative impact, since there are different parties protesting. At the moment here, it is the People's Democratic Party faithfuls who are indeed protesting, and at the other end there, you have the Labour Party faithfuls who are indeed protesting. So it's all about protest.
Can you listen?
In Enugu at this stage.
Can you listen to me? The people behind you, what are they saying? What is their own demand?
What is their own demand?
So their demand is the fact that they want INEC to indeed announce the results. They are of the opinion that if all the local governments have been collated, why has the returning officer not announced results? The returning officer was of the opinion that for Nkana East, where some party agents indeed raised some allegations, in Kano East precisely, and Nsukka, where allegations were raised, there needs to be a review. But they are saying that the returning officer appealed to the party agent to allow the process to continue. And since he completed the process one way or the other, they want results announced. But I also recall that while appealing to the party agent to allow the process continue, the returning officer made mention of the fact that they will indeed come back to revisit the issue of Nkanu East and also Nsukka.
All right, thank you, Mia. If there's any development, please let us know. Thank you very kindly. All right, Jide, you were on Kaduna.
Yes. Let me say that if indeed beavers was not used in those local governments, on Nsukka and on Kano East, the law is clear. You cannot return any result from those places.
Okay.
And it's not the first time that we've had an entire local government result cancelled. So if such irregularities characterize voting in those 2 local governments, then the law says that no results shall be accepted from those local governments. So I remember that in 2015 in Rivers State, I think 6 local governments or so did not have their results included in the final tally of the presidential election. So it's not a new thing. INEC should not waste people's time. INEC should check its rule book and take a decision. The longer it takes to decide who won in Enugu, the greater the apprehension of the people, and they are feeling that there is an attempt to compromise the process.
That's it.
So they should decide on that one quickly.
Gide, because after 24 years of unbroken democratic practice, we should have been
We should be better
care
than
of
this. We should be better than this. If you do not follow the rule book, then they should throw the rule book at you. The decision has to be taken. They shouldn't waste time. Then what is happening in Abia? Decide who has won the election.
Yeah,
If there are irregularities, deal with it, and then decide who has won the election. The whole country has finished the process. Then we are waiting for
2 states.
For 2 states. It makes no sense for this to continue. Talking about Kaduna, I said that the PDP dominated the presidential and National Assembly elections, won all the 3 senatorial seats, dominated the House of Reps seat, and won the presidential election with a comfortable margin. APC scored 29% of the votes. The Labour Party got 20% of the vote in Kaduna, and the PDP was the clear winner. So people expected the same pattern to continue in the governorship election. But as they say, politics is local. There are some interesting realities that we didn't see in the presidential election that we would then see in the... So when I looked at even the pattern of voting, religion, ethnicity still plays a big part in voter behavior in our country. I looked at the result from Chikun local government, for example. More than 80,000 80,000 votes went to the PDP. That margin was so huge that you would think that the APC would never cover it. But with a good outing in places like Sabongeri local government, that's Zaria and other places, including even this place that is infested with bandits, Benue, they were able to narrow the gap, and Ubasani was able to win with just about 10,000. There was complaint that, they should have gone for inconclusive election, just the way it's been decided in Adama. But the returning officer said no, that those votes cancelled were as a result of overvoting, and it affected both parties.
It's across the board. So
that at the end of the day, it amounted to about 3,000 votes. And so that is lesser than the margin of Ubasani's victory over Ashiru. So Ubasani declared winner, and they were jubilating late into the night yesterday that Ubasani, former political advisor to Governor El-Rufai, is now his successor.
Okay. JKB, can you take us to Benue?
Yeah, the interesting thing about Benue is the fact that long before the elections, people know that the good father will win. But I've never seen
a Reverend Father is back.
I've never seen a state that analysts like Jide and Co are so sure will go a certain way. And because the moment that the governor decided to pitch camp with a particular candidate, it became obvious that certain things are put in motion. And APC's party, the party in Benue, were very lucky about the kind of candidate he brought, because the man is almost without blemish. And at that point in time,
very popular.
Just got to the point that people are just waiting for the coronation.
It reminds me of Reverend Father Jolly Yame.
Before the...
And Moses Adasu in the same Benue.
Yeah. So it was really, the governor lost, by the way, as you know, last. So this one was more like an home run. In fact, the results were not surprising to me, and to most people.
All right. Jide, are you surprised at what played out in Sokoto State, for instance?
We know in Sokoto, in the last few years, the elections are usually very close, very close. So I was surprised that that Aliu just pulled away and achieved a big margin of victory. I wasn't expecting it. I thought that would be, look at the presidential election, very, very close. Tiny margin. Just like he won, just like Tambua won the governorship election against this same Aliu with just 342 votes. after a supplementary election. So I was thinking that, this time around, whoever will win, at least the tradition of a very close contest will still be maintained. But look, in the end, it was a much easier outcome. It underlines the fact that Margaret Takadawamako Seriki Yama is still very popular in Sokoto State. Is without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, the most powerful politician in the state.
All right, I hear we must go on a commercial break. We should be back. This is Journalist Hangout on TVC. All right, Jide, take us to Katsina, if you quickly can.
Oh, Katsina, Katsina, PDP won the presidential election in Katsina.
Surprisingly.
Yes, it came as a shock to people, but I knew there had been problems arising from the primaries that they were trying to fix and all that. Even Ashwaju got involved trying to resolve some of these disputes. But surprisingly, it became an easier win for Diko Rada, the former boss of Smedan. Became an easier...
Omar Diko.
No, Omar Diko. Not even from the same state. Omar Diko was a Zaria man. So Diko Rada is the candidate Cerebra, and I think that no one will be surprised that he won in the end because he was clearly the better candidate of the two major parties. So,
okay.
They worked hard. They came together, and I remember some of my friends calling me to say, see, things are getting better. We are resolving some of these issues. So when you bounce back from adversity, this is the result that you get. Adversity will come, disappointment will come, but you must respond appropriately. For the president to not be able to deliver his state was a big shame to many people, But in the end, the party bounced back. The governor in Nanga fired some of his aides who were believed to have worked against the party. So now they have a good outcome. They've reaped a good outcome from the troubleshooting that happened after losing the presidential election.
GKB, quickly, let's see if it is possible to lump the 8 PDP.
No, they're not. No,
let's continue.
We can continue tomorrow.
Okay.
The viewers deserve better.
Nasarawa State.
You want to take us there? The governor has performed, and the way the party struggled, because the problem they faced in 3 weeks ago are no longer there. I keep telling people that whatever was the force driving the election 3 weeks ago had dissipated seriously based on that reality. So I'm not really surprised about the results that came out of Nasarawa and the way that it was done. But I commend Governor Abdullahi Sule. He's a very cerebral man, very articulate, and a man of his people. So again, I don't think there's much surprise that he was returned.
Yeah, Jide, my neighboring state, Cross River, was nicked too.
Again, in the you now see different voter behavior from what we saw in the presidential election. The presidential election, Labour Party took the state, but in the governorship election, Labour Party was nowhere to be found. It became a straight contest between the PDP and the APC. And as they say, the governor lost the senatorial election to Senator Jarigbe, who is seen as the most popular politician in Cross River at this time. But in the governorship election, Ayade bounced back and did his best to be able to install his successor. So we saw, in some cases, very close contest in the local government, and in some places, very wide margin, of victory for either party. So at the end of the day, Ayade succeeded in installing his successor. Now, people like Lely Moke, Donadu, they know that they have to prepare for the next election in 4 years. Otherwise,
They are going to be
having successfully unseated the PDP in an election,
Anything is possible.
it may just be the beginning of the hegemony of APC in that state.
All right, GKB, quickly, the neighboring Ebonyi state went to the APC. Surprised?
Governor Mai is godlike when it comes to Ebonyi politics. I was in Ebonyi about 2 months ago, and it was extremely popular.
Okay.
But I think it's the most.
So you are not surprised?
No, I'm not surprised because I thought that the labor tsunami will have.
That's why I asked you.
Well, I keep asking people that what happened 3 weeks ago is no longer the same steam of what is happening now. These elections are more local. People now look at themselves as brothers. Before, they were trying to see what they can do for Nigeria. Now they are trying to see what they can do for themselves.
Okay.
And as far as Umai stays on course, the way it's going to be the major player in Ebonyi.
And don't forget, even the Labour Party took the decision to back the candidate of the APC.
Oh, really?
That's the Speaker of the House of Assembly. You know, so the image of the governor of Ebonyi looms large over the state because of the tremendous work he's done. You know, despite the Labour tsunami, they took all the 3 Senate seats, and that's significant in the Southeast. For APC to take all Senate seats in a Southeast state, that's significant, you know. It takes a very popular governor to pull that off, and that's what he's done.
Gidi, quickly take us to good old Kwara.
Oh, Kwara, you know, Kwara, just as I had predicted, went the way of the APC. The governor, remember in the presidential election, APC won all the local governments. They didn't even concede any party.
Okay.
They won all the local governments. And the governor, the National Assembly election was also a clean sweep.
It was a whitewash. Yeah.
So,
Really?
Because the people appear not to be prepared just yet to let the Bukola Saraki political family bounce back. You know, the Otoge revolution happened, you know, and then what we have now in Kwara is Otunya. That means let's continue. You know, the PDP people, the Sarakis, they came up with Osuwa. But the people have shown that Koti is Suwan. Because Toba Suwan, they will not.
Oswa means we are dog
We are tired. We don't tire. But if to say they don't tire, they for no vote for the APC across the board. And you see significantly a 26-year-old online content creator won. A woman won a seat in the House of Assembly from Kwara Central. That's the governor's bid. Bukola and the governor are from the same locality. But in spite of that, the governor made sure that all the elections in that area were won by him.
So we'll continue from tomorrow because we have some 4 or 5 states left. And of course, the PDP victories we must touch on. But then GKB became a year old yesterday, and he stepped on the 6th floor. A year older.
Okay.
Did I say a year old?
Oh,
come on. I'm looking at the balls. They say when you are 60, you play smaller balls.
Yeah, we play tennis.
Well,
At 70, you play golf.
70, you play golf, like us. Yeah, so happy birthday to
happy
you.
birthday, citizen GKB. GKB, since I've known him, he's been a wonderful person. And, one of my favorites on this program, not because we agree all the time. Our worldviews are different, you know, but for his humanity, for being such a good person. I like him a lot, and I pray that God will cause him to see many more years in good health. He will see his children's children in a happy Nigeria. Because it's a happy Nigeria that we all desire.
That's it.
You know, that is it. Those abusing us, they don't know that we are committed to a happy Nigeria. They may not like our methods, but that is our overriding desire. He is that kind of person.
So, GKB,
God will...
the backroom boys join me and Jide in saying a happy birthday to you.
And I thank you. And I
We are
thank
waiting
the
for you on
And
the
the rest
7th
of
floor.
us will get to that 6th floor by God's grace.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Okay, but you have no choice.
Yes,
have
God,
no
God will
choice.
take me there.
The ugly thing about aging is we cannot wait for you. They come, they go.
I can't catch up with you, for example.
No.
This one is already, the man is already.
Even
up
you,
to
I
us.
can't catch up with you.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you are not going to wait for me.
Nobody's waiting.
No, you will not. All right, then. So that's the show today, but it continues tomorrow. Let's all thank you for being there for us. Okay, our business is to help mold opinion based on the facts available to us. If you missed this edition, join us on Sunday. We have a 2-hour stretch for you from 1:30 to 3:30. Jide, thanks for coming.
Thank you, citizen.
GK,
Always a pleasure.
cheers. Okay.
Happy post-election.
Okay. I'm Citizen Jones. Bye-bye now. Take care.